Hi, SBIPO prelims. Come on, my dear friends. Question number 1. One to 10. Now I am going to 11 error location వెళ్దాం ముందుగా. 2 types of error location ఉన్నాయి. Error location చేశాక వద్దాం. 11th one కి వెళ్తున్నా. 5 statements all are incorrect అంటున్నాడు. అవునేమో చూద్దామా? When selecting a fund, we looked to understand కాదు. We look to understand. Second one. When selecting a fund, we like to understand the teams managing the fund అన్నాడు. Correct. And their strategy and perform అయ్యుండొచ్చు. When selecting a fund, we looking to కాదు. Wrong. When selecting a fund, we look at understanding కాదు. Wrong. So that we can go with the second option. When selecting a fund, we look to understand the teams managing the fund and their strategy and performance. Second one is the right one. Question number 12. The first role of education is to infuse values in individuals and to change their kadu, their. The first role of education is to infuse kadu 2 plus V1. The first role of education is at infusing values kadu. The first role of education is to infuse values in individuals and change their inner selves. Absolutely right. That is the fourth option. The first role of education is to infuse values in individuals and change their inner values. Fourth option. 13th one. Disharmonious relationship with fellow human beings, society, and with nature also emanates much from our imbalanced relationship కాదు, imbalanced అయి ఉండాలి. So that this is not right. Disharmonious relationship with fellow human beings, with society, and with nature also emanates many from కాదు, much from. Disharmonious relationship with fellow human beings, with society, and with nature also emanates much from our imbalanced relationship with nature. Third one correct గా ఉంది. Fourth one, disharmonious relationship with fellow human beings, with society and nature also emanated many కాదు, much from. సో మనకి ఇక్కడ అవర్ ఇంబ్యాలెన్స్ లో ఎర్రర్ కనబడుతోంది. మెనీ ఫ్రమ్ కాదు, మచ్ ఫ్రమ్ అక్కడ ఎర్రర్ ఉంది. ఫోర్త్ వన్ లో మెనీ ఫ్రమ్ కాదు, మచ్ ఫ్రమ్ అక్కడ కూడా ఎర్రర్ ఉంది. కావున థర్డ్ ఆప్షన్. 14th one, ecological reconstruction should be on the heart of the కాదు, at the heart of అయి ఉండాలి. in the heart of the కాదు, at the heart of the అయి ఉండాలి. on the heart of the కాదు, at the heart of the అయి ఉండాలి. ఫోర్త్ వన్ చూద్దాం. ecological reconstruction should be at the heart of our education system, on the కాదు, in the కాదు. So that my dear friends, option number 4 is correct. Question number 15. Education must seek to nature, correct? Refine and fully develop these dimensions of holistic human development. Education must seek for nature, wrong. Education must seek to nature, refine and fully developed కాదు, fully develop. Fourth one, education must seek at కాదు, seek to nurture. Education must seek to nurture. Third one చదువుతున్నా. First one, education must seek to nurture, refine and fully develop these dimensions of holistic human development. First one correct. Question number 16. Again we'll come there. 26. Social anxieties, ఇది కూడా ఎర్రర్ లొకేషన్ లోకే వస్తుంది నాన్న. Social anxieties over braid chopping and love jihad directly feed up కాదు నాన్న, డైరెక్ట్లీ కన్జర్వేటివ్ ఎజెండాస్ లోకి వెళ్తున్నాయి కాబట్టి ఫీడ్ ఇంటూ రావాలి. ఎక్కడుందో చూడండి. దట్ ఈస్ ఫస్ట్ ఆప్షన్. డైరెక్ట్లీ ఫీడ్ ఇంటూ కన్జర్వేటివ్ ఎజెండాస్ that also deny women functional autonomy and upset ambitious government schemes like Beti Pachao, Beti Padao, so that social anxieties over braid chopping and love jihad directly feed into conservative agendas. That is first option, feed up kaadu. 27. Across India, the social psyche is fraying. Far kaadu nanna, fraying at the edges. For the edges kaadu, at the edges. That is the third option. The social psyche is fraying at the edges where superstition, hate spewing, ideologies and fear of the other are producing massive disruptions, sometimes tapping social media's viral potential. ఇక్కడ మీనింగ్ ఫ్రేయింగ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఎడ్జెస్ కాదు, ఫ్రేయింగ్ ఇన్ ద ఎడ్జెస్ కాదు నాన్న, ఫ్రేయింగ్ ఎట్ ద ఎడ్జెస్. క్వశ్చన్ నెంబర్ 28. A solution has to be finding కాదు, a solution has been found కాదు, a solution have to be found కాదు, a solution has to be found. That is the third option. A solution has to be found to reduce the frequency of elections, which relieves the people and the government machinery tired of frequent electoral processes. So that a solution has to be found to reduce is the correct one. 29. There will of course be other constitutional issues and administrative problems which need to be sorted out. Absolutely right. To be sorted out correct అయినప్పుడు, to be sorted in wrong, to be sorted off wrong, to be sorted over wrong, to be sorted out is only correct, so that the given statement is correct, no correction required. One more time. There will of course be other constitutional issues and administrative problems which need to be sorted out in consultation with the stakeholders, political parties and all others. Number 30. The platform should allow exporters to fire all information documents online. డూయింగ్ బిసైడ్ విత్ కాదు నాన్న, మనం నేర్చుకున్నాం ఒక ఫ్రాజల్ వెర్బ్ లో డూ అవే విత్ అని. డూ అవే విత్ అంటే అర్థము అవాయిడ్ అని అర్థం. డూ అవే విత్ మీన్స్ అవాయిడ్. ఇక్కడ డూయింగ్ బిసైడ్ విత్ రాంగ్, డూయింగ్ అబైడ్ విత్ రాంగ్, డూయింగ్ ఆఫ్ విత్ రాంగ్, ఓన్లీ డూయింగ్ అవే విత్. The platform should allow exporters to file all information documents online, doing away with the need to deal with customs, DGFT, shipping companies, sea and airports and banks separately. So that doing away with means avoid అనే అర్థం వస్తుంది నాన్న. సో అవేమీ చేయనవసరం లేదు ఆన్లైన్ లో ఉంటే అంటున్నాడు. సో that is avoid. Now I am going to question number 1. The center's decision to adopt Bharat Stage 6 automotive fuels nationwide by April 1, 2020 is a key measure that can, if implemented properly, vastly improve air quality. Rolling out the BS6 standard nationally, skipping BS5 has significant cost implications for fuel producers and automobile industry. But its positive impact on public health would more than compensate for the investment. ఖర్చు ఎంతైనా పర్వాలేదు, పబ్లిక్ హెల్త్ బాగుంటుంది అని అంటున్నాడు. Major pollutants such as fine particulate matter, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides and carbon monoxide emitted by millions of vehicles on India's roads are severely affecting the health of people, particularly children whose lungs are immature and hence more vulnerable. Thousands of premature deaths and rising rates of asthma episodes highlight the urgent need to make a radical and complete shift to modern fuels and vehicle technologies. Past national policy of implementation of the BS6, BS4 fuel standard failed primarily because this was not done all over the country. And the technical standard also permitted a higher level of sulfur in the fuel. Higher sulfur results in high volumes of fine respirable particulates measuring 2.5 micrometers being generated in emissions. Since even this obsolete standard was not followed uniformly, many vehicles, especially commercial passenger and freight carriers, have been using lower standard fuel supplied outside big cities. This has performed their catalytic converters incapable of absorbing pollutants. Improved air quality, especially in big urban centers, depends on several factors in an era of fast motorization. A bloated population of vehicles using fossil fuels has affected travel speeds, worsening pollution levels. Poor civic governance has left roads unpaved and public spaces filled with debris and construction dust, constantly recirculating particulate matter in the air. Moreover, the monitoring of diesel passenger and commercial vehicles, the biggest contributors to total emissions. For compliance with emissions, regulations remains poor. Such a record does not inspire confidence that retrofitting of old vehicles to use higher quality fuels such as BS6 can be achieved smoothly. Equally, the distortions in urban development policy that facilitate the use of personal motorized vehicles rather than expanding good public transport, walking and cycling are glaring. Many of these issues were understood by the Soumitra Chowdhury Committee on Auto Fuel Vision and Policy 2025 in its report submitted in 2014. The panel also recommended appropriate levies to fund the transition to cleaner, low sulfur fuels. A study by the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi on fuel policy and air quality in the same year concluded that the best results would be achieved by raising the fuel standard and introducing policy initiatives that would influence passenger behavior and cut personal travel kilometers by 25%. The government has done well to advance the deadline for cleaner fuels by 3 years. It must show the same diligence, activeness in making other policy changes in partnership with state governments to clean up the air. Which of the following statements are true to the given passage? Implementation of BSV fuel failed? No. Public spaces are filled with debris due to poor civic governance? Correct. Commercial passenger and freight carriers are using higher standard fuel, which is true on adugutunnadu. Only 2. What can be the suitable title of the above passage? New policy to clean the air? No. Welcome measure to clean the air? Maybe. High level of pollutants? New initiatives to clean the air. Em తీసుకుందాం? Welcome measure, new initiatives. New initiative తీసుకుందాం, 4th one. According to the passage, what will be the major effect of the implementation of Bharat Stage 6 fuels? It will heavily reduce the cost of fuels? No. It will emit very less pollutants? No. It will 2 and 3 తీసుకుందాం. It will emit very less pollutants? Yes. It will majorly improve public health. That is 3rd option. So the 2 and 3, option number 5. Which of the statements not true అని అడుగుతున్నాడు? Diesel, passenger and commercial car major source of pollutant emissions. Correct. Urban development policies do not facilitate expanding good public transport. Correct. BS6 automotive fuels is a key measure to improve air quality. Correct. All are true. Question number 5. In view of other, how improved air quality is achievable in big urban cities lo ela vastundi? By adopting BS6 automotive fuels, by reducing vehicles using fossil fuels, by improving civic governance. అన్ని బాగున్నాయి కదండి. కాబట్టి ఆల్ ద అబౌవ్. నో. 6th one. రెండర్డ్ చెయ్యడాన్ని అంటాం. రెండర్డ్ ఇందాకనే అనుకున్నాం మనం పెర్ఫార్మ్డ్ అని. రెండర్డ్ మీన్స్ పెర్ఫార్మ్డ్. కాంపన్సేట్ చేయాలి అంటే అయిపోయిన పెనాల్టీ తిరిగి కట్టాలి, రీఎంబర్స్ చేయాలి. ద ఇన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఉంది అని అంటున్నాడు. దట్ మీన్స్ పవర్, దాని యొక్క పవర్ ఉంది అని అర్థం. డెలిజెన్స్ అంటే యాక్టివ్ అని అర్థం అండి. దానికి ఆపోజిట్ కావాలి అన్నాడు, లేజినెస్. అబ్సొల్యూట్ అంటే కనిపించకుండా పోయింది, పూర్వం ఉండేది అని. ప్రజెంట్ ఇప్పుడు ఉంది, న్యూ ఫ్యాషన్, ప్రజెంట్ ఫ్యాషన్, దట్ ఈజ్ వోగ్, మోడర్న్ ఫ్యాషన్. A couple of years ago, the Eurozone, about 1/6 of the world economy, appeared to be in serious trouble. Eurozone చాలా ట్రబుల్లో ఉండేది. Beginning in 2010, an unexpected sovereign debt crisis contributed to and was compounded by serious weaknesses in major banks. In major banks, 2010లోనే డెట్ క్రైసిస్ బాగా పెరిగింది. మేజర్ బ్యాంక్స్ లో వీక్నెసెస్ వచ్చాయి. ఫిస్కల్ ఆస్టెరిటీ, నిరాడంబరత ఇన్ గ్రీస్ అండ్ అదర్ రిలేటివ్లీ వీక్ కంట్రీస్ హెల్ప్డ్ ఫ్యూయల్ అండ్ ఓవరాల్ ఎకనామిక్ వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ ఎకనామిక్ ఎకనామిక్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్, కంటిన్యూటీ, డౌన్ టర్నా, ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్, ఆ రెండే ఉంటాయి. చూద్దామా. ఫిస్కల్ ఆస్టెరిటీ ఇన్ గ్రీస్ అండ్ అదర్ రిలేటివ్లీ వీక్ కంట్రీస్ helped fuel an overall economic downturn in the absence of dash mutual support, generous mutual support. ఒకళ్ళకొకళ్ళు జనరస్ గా ఎవరు సపోర్ట్ చేసుకోలేదు. దేర్ వాజ్ అన్ ఆర్ ఆఫ్ లాస్ట్ డిట్ డిస్పరేషన్ when in March 2015 the European Central Bank announced, యాన్ అన్నాడండి, యాన్ ఒకటే పదం ఉంది, అంబిషియస్. యాన్తో ప్రొట్రాక్షన్ రాదు, యాన్తో స్లైట్ రాదు, యాన్తో స్కాన్ రాదు, యాన్తో డిస్కార్డ్ రాదు. యాన్ అంబిషియస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఆఫ్ పర్చేసింగ్ గవర్నమెంట్ డెట్. Just over 2 years later, the situation looks much more positive. The latest International Monetary Fund forecast projects 1.7 growth for the Eurozone as a whole in 2017 and 1.6% growth in 2018. A remarkable improvement from a few years ago, and the region struggled to break 1%. Recent solvency concerns for some smaller banks in Italy and Spain were handled without causing any significant prolonging, neglect, disregard, disruption అయి ఉండాలి. సిగ్నిఫికెంట్ యాడ్జెక్టివ్ అండి, యాడ్జెక్టివ్ వచ్చి నౌన్. మరొకసారి చదువుదాం, డిస్రప్షన్ అప్లై చేసి. When the region struggled to break 1%, recent solvency concerns for some smaller banks in Italy and Spain were handled without causing any significant disturbance. Disruption. Very good. Significant deciduity kaadu. And at a just concluded ECB conference that I attended, there was even some discussion of when the ECB could scale back its ఒక రెగ్యులేటరీ బ్యాంక్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, ఇంటర్వెన్ అయింది కాబట్టి దాని ఇంటర్వెన్షన్ వెనక్కి తీసుకుంది. స్కేల్ బ్యాక్ ఇట్స్ ఇంటర్వెన్షన్స్ అండ్ పెర్హాప్స్ బిగిన్ టు రైజ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్స్. ద ఇమీడియట్ macro economic picture remains somewhat murky. On the morning of June 27, financial markets thought ECB President Mario Draghi spoke more positively on growth than in the recent past. And the value of the euro, ఆటోమేటిక్గా పాజిటివ్గా మాట్లాడితే ఏమవుతుంది, strengthened. Value of euro bar strengthened. By the next morning, senior ECB officials were quoted as saying that Draghi's remarks had been overinterpreted and the euro fell. అక్కడ యూరో బాగా పెరిగింది, స్ట్రెంగ్థన్ అయింది. నెక్స్ట్ మార్నింగ్ యూరో ఏమైంది, ఫెల్ అయింది. The real question is what comes next, and this was the theme of the conference. What should we expect in terms of Europe's medium term growth? Medium growth, term growth potential anta, then power anta. In particular, as long as interest rates remain low, the current level of government debt in countries such as Italy, అక్కడ మాత్రం అలాగే ఉంటాయి, రిమైన్స్ మేనేజబుల్ గానే ఉన్నాయి. బట్ యాజ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్స్ రైజ్, ఒకవేళ రైజ్ అయితే, will there be sufficient growth to sustain the expectation that public debt levels are మేనేజ్ చేయగలుగుతామా, సస్టైనబుల్ ఏనా అని అడుగుతున్నాడు. పబ్లిక్ డెట్స్ ఆర్ సస్టైనబుల్? నో. A couple of years ago, the Eurozone, about 1/6 of the world economy, appeared to be in serious trouble. Beginning in 2010, an unexpected sovereign debt crisis contributed to and was compounded by serious weaknesses in major banks. Fiscal austerity in Greece and other relatively weak countries helped fuel an overall economic downturn. In the absence of generous mutual support, there was an aura of last-ditch desperation when in March 2015, the European Central Bank announced an ambitious program of purchasing government debt. Now I am going to 19th one. Yes. Recent solvency concern for smaller banks in Italy and Spain were handled without causing any significant disruption. Yes. ECB ఇంతవరకు చాలా ఇంటర్ఫీర్ అయింది. Yes, and at a just concluded ECB conference that I attended, there was even some discussion of when the ECB should scale back its intervention. ఇప్పుడు వెనక్కి వస్తుంది అనేది. Now 21. Yes. ఎప్పుడైతే ఆయన బాగా ప్రెసిడెంట్ మ్యారియో డ్రాగి బాగా మాట్లాడినాడో ద వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ద యూరో స్ట్రెంగ్థన్ అయిపోయింది. కానీ అది కరెక్ట్ కాదని మేము కోట్ చేసాం, వర్ కోటెడ్. అలా కోట్ చేయగానే యూరో ఫెల్ అయింది. ఎస్. యూరోప్స్ మీడియం టర్మ్ గ్రోత్ పొటెన్షియల్ ఎంత అని, అదేమో దాన్ని ఈజీగానే మేనేజ్ చేయొచ్చు. రిమైన్స్ మేనేజబుల్ and they are sustainable also. So that, my dear friends, this is the question paper number 89 SBI PO prelims. Thank you very much.